Feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Central Pennsylvania Shrimp Tank, here from our temporary studio in Dillsburg, Pennsylvania. I'm your host, Nathan Imboden, and as a reminder, you can catch all of these amazing interviews we get to do with some of the best and brightest business owners and entrepreneurs in Central Pennsylvania on our website at shrimptankpodcast.com/CentralPA. Also, be sure to go to our Facebook page, find the Central PA Shrimp Tank, click that like button to stay updated on all of the interviews we do. You can also find us on every major podcast app out there, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and iHeartRadio. Search for the Central PA Shrimp Tank. Click that subscribe button to stay up to date. And on this podcast, we like to talk about, it's a podcast by business owners for business owners. We like to teach the message of being a business owner and entrepreneur from those that are boots on the ground and are actually living it day in and day out. And right now, we are continuing our series in the crosshairs of Corona, because even though a lot of our counties here in Pennsylvania are going to whatever green means anymore, but going to green and starting to reopen, there's still a lot of challenges that we're facing and needing to deal with, adapting to whatever the new normal looks like. So we are going to, again, continue this series as long as we need to while we're in this to make sure that we're just covering that. We like to talk about the good and the bad and the challenges of being a business owner and entrepreneur. And right now we're in one of those challenging times. I can say personally, it's been encouraging to see all of our business owners really rise to the occasion, pivot, learn how to adapt and adjust and thrive through this. And today is no exception to that as well. So we have Corrie, and I should have asked before, Corrie, I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you say your last name because I've pronounced it one way all the time, and then I have other people pronounce it a different way. So I'm gonna let you say it.
Leister. It's a long I, but every other one of these I've done, they've pronounced it Leister, so you would not have been alone.
Yeah, okay, good. Leister, that's how I've always said it. So Corrie Leister, and Corrie has a company called Inspired by You, and I'll let her give all the shout outs to how you can learn about her products and see her demonstrations and all the great work she does. But in any event, let me welcome you to the show, and just why don't you tell us a little bit about the business, first maybe how it got started, and then we'll focus on pre-COVID, during COVID, during shutdowns, and now where we're coming into right now.
Well, Nathan, first, thank you so much for having me on here. And it's always a privilege to speak with other entrepreneurs. And so I love painting, and I've always had a passion for it. And in 2015, I was probably at the lowest point of my life, just seeking purpose and passion. And I took a trip out to Oklahoma to visit my sister, and she was pregnant with her first child at the time. And the whole time we were out there, she was having me paint furniture and murals and all kinds of stuff. And by the time I left, she had this beautiful new nursery, and she said, "Corrie, you really have a gift. You need to go into a business." And I was thinking the exact same thing. And the very day that I got home from Oklahoma, I got a random phone call. Well, not random so much, but God ordained, I think, phone call from one of my mom's friends saying, "Corrie, I know you've always loved to paint. Would you consider painting my kitchen cabinets?" And it was just kind of random. All of these doors just kept opening up. This was in June of 2015. Within a week, I had my EIN number, my website, my business cards. Like, it was crazy because my whole family is entrepreneurs. Both my dad has his own practice. My mom has ran businesses throughout her whole life. My brother has Passenger Coffee and, all of these stores. My sister has Next Door Photos. My twin sisters just started this blog. Like, we're just all entrepreneurs. So I was like, okay, let's do this.
You're too. I mean, it helps to have a husband that does the same thing too.
Oh my gosh, my husband is an insane entrepreneur, so we have that mindset. Okay, let's do this and jump 2 feet in. And so it just started picking up with word of mouth. And I have never had to pay for advertising for my business. It's just kind of spread through word of mouth and Facebook advertising. And now 5 years later, it's been pretty insane what has happened, and we've been just having a blast and making things happen.
So let's talk about the business, what it looked like before March, before the middle of March. What kind of services were you offering? What kind of contracts were you doing? What products you were offering? That kind of stuff.
So before March, I do strictly cabinet and furniture refinishing. That's our specialty. So that's our primary focus. I run the group Kitchen Cabinet Painting Experts, which is right now right around 25,000 people, just people where I wanted to create an environment for people to learn and grow and to get advice from the experts. So there's lots of DIYers, people who want to do it themselves, but they don't know where to go. So they come to our group and we help them out.
Is that a Facebook, by the way?
That is a Facebook group. Yeah, that is a Facebook group. And then we have a mastermind group with that for all of the professionals where we share knowledge and we help each other grow and we just sharpen each other. And so we run that too. We turn a kitchen a week. So we tear down on Monday, we install on Friday. And so that was just kind of our life. Last year we did 42 kitchens, and then we do furniture in those weeks where we're not doing kitchens. So it's been a little crazy, but that was life prior to March, and it was full steam ahead, and it was a little wild. Yeah.
So, all right, March hits. I would assume, I'm going to make an assumption, then I'll let you either correct me or confirm me. I would assume that most of the jobs you had either got delayed or canceled, or even ones you were currently doing. I'm not sure what the status of those were, because I know the kitchen industry was kind of a goofy one, with some being able to continue, some not. But talk about that. Like what happened?
Well, it was just wild. I was actually out in Denver when the stay-at-home order came. I was at a conference with a bunch of other entrepreneurs, and we were just learning business. And I was actually en route to Denver, and they were considering canceling the event. And I was like, I'm already, on my way out. I'm just going to stay. And so we ended up, some people came to the conference and turned back, and I stayed out there. But when I came home, it was like quarantine for 2 weeks. Like, what do? You don't want to go into people's homes because you've been in the airports with everybody. And it was an insane time. So I tried to gather, all of the stuff that I could. I'm like, okay, well, we wear masks, we wear gloves, like, let's go in where we can. And our customers, we've been blessed with the most incredible customers. They had been so flexible during the entire time. We completed the job that we were working on, and then we were like, this is the situation. We're going to push it back. We're gonna adjust things as we can. I'm gonna try and fill you in where I can. If you've got furniture pieces that you want, you can drop them off at my shop, and I'll complete that stuff. It was just a matter of trying to go full steam ahead, and then it's like this stop, and it's like, what the heck do I had actually done my own kitchen in December. I had like a couple day window, and I got sick during that time. And so my doors had been off of my kitchen from December through March. And so I finally got a chance to put my doors on my kitchen during that downtime. So I was able to finish my own kitchen. And so what I decided to do was, like, during that off time, to really focus on my social media, because I knew that people would still be home and they would still be engaged. So when that time came when they knew that they needed my services, I would be fresh in their mind. So I was walking them through my own kitchen and some of my own projects. I faux painted my mantle and my beams, and we did a lot of projects here at home. That first, I think I just took a week off, and then I was like, okay, I gotta go, because that's just how I'm built. I'm like, okay, that was great. We got some stuff done at the house, but let's go. And so it was just a matter of I had just got my space. We just leased a space in Mechanicsburg, February 1st. And so we were just kind of getting that up and running. And so I was paying a rent now, and I didn't have the income to pay it. So it was like, okay, how can we make this work? This is a situation. Let's figure out a solution. And so then people just started calling, and they were like, okay, I've got furniture. Can I drop it off? Can I drop it off? Can I drop it off? And so I was swamped. After that first week, it was just constant furniture pieces that I was turning out. And then I was getting really booked, like behind with our kitchen cabinets. And so I offered my clients a 10% discount if they would drop their doors off to the shop, so I could at least get their doors done. And then we could do everything on site after we were allowed. So then, like, at one point I had 4 sets of kitchen cabinets in my work. Like, it was insane. So it was like a time where we were like, just trying to figure out the path of where to go. And through the whole process, like in December, I had decided, you know, I wanted to, with our Facebook group, we had a bunch of people in there who wanted industrial coatings, and they didn't want to buy them in gallons. So they were looking to buy them in smaller sizes. And so I was in communication with Malaysia, who is an industrial coating line from Italy, and DC Clark, who is in Pittsburgh. He's a distributor. And so during this time, I was like, okay, well, we still need a little bit more income to make up for everything that we're losing, and I'm ready. So let's launch a paint line. Why not, right? And so that's kind of how that came about. It was pretty wild. And I kind of had the ideas rolling around in my head, and I just needed that extra kick, I guess, and I guess a little extra time to get it off and rolling. And so now we sell industrial coatings to furniture artists, to people who want to paint their own kitchen cabinets, to you know, people who want a higher end than you can get at like some of the local stores here. And it's an industrial coating line that can be brushed, it can be rolled, it can be sprayed, and it just gives this beautiful finish. So through our kitchen cabinet paint, or our kitchen cabinet experts group, I had tested tons and tons of products. And when I used this one, I fell in love with it. And so I was like, all right, let's do something with it. Get it in more people's hands.
So when did you actually launch the product? Did you say?
It was probably March. I believe it was mid-March.
Okay.
Mid-March.
So right about COVID.
Yeah. It was pretty quick. Like when I'm like, when I want to do something, I don't hesitate. I just kind of jump in and figure it out along the way.
Yeah. So you weren't restricted to being able to sell any of that, which was helpful, other than you weren't able to have people come into a store and actually see it. But if you were doing a lot of media work, that's probably where a lot of your leads were coming from as you were creating some more recognition. So talk about maybe social media for a little bit, because I mean, I know you're all over at least the platforms that I'm familiar with that I utilize, but I know you started a TikTok page, you probably do on Instagram. Like, talk about all those and maybe how you manage that. Do you have a service where you help send it out to everything? Do you do special stuff for each platform?
Well, I find the platforms tend to restrict things a little bit more if you're sharing it between platforms. So I try to post a little bit more fresh content on each one. Sometimes I'll use the same graphic or the same video. But I think if you're sharing it, it restricts the reach a little bit more. My primary platform is Facebook. We've done so much business through Facebook, and I just find it's a great platform to add value to people. And there's a lot of people who are more in my target audience, I guess, like the 35 plus we're more the Facebook users, I guess. The younger generation is more Instagram. And so I do post occasionally. I use my Instagram primarily as my portfolio. So when people go there, they see like nice graphics, they see what we can do and see some of our work. I just started TikTok. I was like, hey, this looks like fun. Let's try it. And like, it was crazy because in like with a 2-week time frame, I had 7,000 followers. Like, it's crazy the reach that it can get. I was like, what the heck is this? And then I guess TikTok found out that I wasn't really dancing or doing anything crazy. So they started to restrict my reach then too. But I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out all the platforms and all of that.
I have a grave distrust for all of these services because they're no longer platforms. I think some of them have no longer become platforms. They become publishers, and anytime you're either restricting reach or restricting content or determining what's allowable content, you're no longer a platform. You're now a publisher, and I won't get on that soapbox, but it doesn't. Anyways, well, so you're blasting social media to use this opportunity to do that because, well, everybody's at home, and when they're at home, what do? Tie to their phone on social media, whatnot. So great pivot. Now we're getting to a point where reopening, and this is going to be a little bit of a delay, but as of yesterday, when we're recording this, you have the official, at least soft or somewhat soft opening of your actual location. So you'll be able to have people come in. So probably a great strategy to build a following. And now got this following. Now I can start dripping them with our store's open, come in and check us out. In your store, do you have also samples of work that you've done, that they can see refinished work or whatnot instead of just the product that they buy?
Absolutely. Yeah. And because we do kitchen cabinets and furniture, I have a sample door of all of the different colors that we offer, because right now we offer, well, it was 14 colors, and each color is named after a quality of people. It's called Inspired by You coating. So each color is a quality of people who have inspired me. So our whites are faith, thoughtful, polite, like different qualities. And so we did have 14 colors. This week we just released 2 new colors in light of everything that's going on, unity and understanding. And so we've got a new, a navy and a dark gray, like a smoky gray color. And so it's neat because we can constantly bring on new colors with the guys that I'm partnered with have been amazing. I have furniture pieces in there, pieces of work that I've done. And I think when people just feel the coatings or they see the look of it, that it sells itself really. I mean, the product, I remember the first time I started using, it's the Malaysia line is what we're using, Malaysia industrial wood coatings. The first time I brought it in, my son, he's 25, he would help install and tear down with me. And he was like, "What is this?" He said, "Did you spray this?" And he said, "This looks like a manufactured door." And I was like, "I know, isn't it great?" Like it was crazy, the response that even my assistants got. It was pretty wild.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have stuff in there. Alex Bazdar with Classic Rock, they just installed a countertop for me in there. So, we love to support other local businesses too. A lot of the local painters, I'm really good friends with. I love networking with people, of course. And so, I mean, just the other night, Curtis with Just Add Paint was here. He was delivering a drum set to my son. He saw him banging on drums online and he brought him a drum set. But I love all of the local painters and the way that we can help each other. And if there's a service that I don't offer or something, a way that I can help support one of them, I'm always referring out other business owners. So any way that I can do that, I love to do. Yeah.
Awesome. By the way, I enjoy the fact that you just glazed over the reality that you have a 25-year-old son. And I'm pretty sure everybody watching this would never even think, holy smokes. That's
Mackenzie. He's my bonus son. So he was 7 when Chad and I met. But he's 25. So I guess technically I could be a grandma, which would be like, no rush to get married or have kids. We're good.
Yeah. There you go. Cool.
Yeah.
So, I mean, great work. And I know this is our shortened version of what we normally do, but there's so much more I want to get into it with you about business structure and funding and employees and all that fun stuff. So I'll extend an offer. I'd love to have you back on when we get to our normal full-length shows where we talk a lot more in-depth business-related stuff. But I mean, I have two questions that I'll wrap up on. The first is, as we look at this crisis, I mean, it's a multi-answered question, but what have you done in this shutdown period that you found to be the most beneficial in being able to pivot? And then I guess step two would be, what have you done that you think is going to carry forward that is different than you were doing before, but you kind of realized, hey, this is actually really, really good. I should have been doing this before. This forced me to do it. And now I'm going to keep this going forward because it's going to help things in the long run.
Yeah, well, I think, you know, during this whole thing, we have 3 little ones too. So we have a 7, a 9, and a 10 and 11. They just had birthdays. So 7, 10, and 11. And so they were home from school this whole time. So figuring out how to continue to move forward with 3 kids at home, with a husband who is, you know, just building his businesses. And, you know, it was just a pivotal moment. And I think one of the things that I had done that worked really well was make them a part of the industrial coating line. Like, I think they were in almost every video that I did, you know, promoting the lines and having them choose their colors and coming up with ideas, and then getting them in there to teach them how to pour and to package and to ship, and just like the business mindset behind it all, and getting them. It was nice because it was a blessing that I had this space outside of our home, because I had built our business from my garage for years before we got this space. And so to have a space where I could take the kids, we could get out of our house and go to my shop, and it was still just us. It was like, you know, me and the kids, but we were outside of the home and just teaching them and making them a part of it and making them see the growth in it, and kind of giving them some skin in the game, and kind of just teaching them that entrepreneur mindset of, okay, things hit and there's struggles and there's challenges. So instead of just dwelling in that, let's come up with a solution. Let's bust through it. And in turn, it becomes something greater than we ever thought possible. So it was just a lot of great lessons. And I'm definitely going to carry that through, you know, because they're vested in it now. Like they love being a part of it. And they're always, you know, my husband came in to see, we just opened yesterday for the first time. And my husband came in and my kids are trying to sell him products. And Flynn's like, no, he gets them for free. He's one of us. And, you know, but it was just neat to see them play a really crucial part in our growth, and to experience that.
That's awesome. Well, I'm a big believer that entrepreneurship is also about a mindset, not just what you actually do, but what you do is driven by your mindset. And if feeding it the wrong things, then the wrong things pour out. Your wrong actions, attitudes, whatnot pour out. Having that constant idea and that mentality of, we're going to push through. We're not going to dwell on the bad. We're going to figure out how to get around it. Life's not easy. Life deals us all, each of us a different hand, and how we respond to that is really how we end up determining what our life looks like. And so good for you for bringing them in, because I never had that. I didn't come from a family of entrepreneurs, so that was not in any of our blood. So I got dealt this and exposure to this later in life, but I just think back and what a cool experience it would have been to be a kid getting that kind of exposure and understanding and learning. So that's all.
It's been neat to see their thought process too. Like Haley just turned 11, so she can now get certified for babysitting. And so she took all of her money that she got for her birthday and invested it into, she wouldn't let us pay for her training. She invested it into her training, and she said, Mom, my first goal is to make that money back. And I was like, you know, just to see the thought process without us having to say a word, to see their mindset and the way that they're starting to think already, we're like, ooh, this is going to be awesome. Like the next generation is going to be great.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a hand for that, because that speaks volumes about the work that you and Chad have done with them, and the support system around that. To have that is awesome. Really, really cool. And I'm sure, I'm saying it from the outside looking in, I have no actual attachment to your kids like you do. I can't imagine then what that feeling must have been like, you know, just seeing that come to fruition. That's cool.
Yeah. It's neat to see, like, cause you try, you know, it's like that little water droplet, but when they actually do it without being told, it's like, oh, it
Yeah.
is sinking in, you know. It's like, phew.
Awesome. So I think, I like to end these, or make sure I end these on additional positive notes, because there's so much positivity that comes through these anyways. But I like to try to do, and you talked about being passionate about supporting other small businesses and individuals in the area. And I like to try to do that as well with this, to the extent that I can, which one way is shout outs. And so what I like to make sure of is just asking the question, are there any other either organizations or businesses that you felt have really shined in these last 3 months while we've been in such a difficult and dark time?
Well, I mean, I really like Tim Peterson with Multiply Inc. He did all of our shirts. This one.
Oh, cool. Okay.
We had several shirts made, and he did something. It was For Good PA, where I guess during this time he would sell shirts for business owners. We had Inspired by You shirts made, and he would give a portion back to the business, and then that was a way that they could keep income going throughout the time. And he said the ones who killed it the most were the salons and the hairdressers and the people, I guess, who that's something that they could really focus on to monetize during the time. And I really appreciated that. And the fact that, like, yesterday we had our opening, and he drove 50 minutes just to deliver the shirts to me to make sure that I would have them yesterday for like, you just don't, good people like that. Yeah. I absolutely love, and he's earned my business. I will refer him. I've already referred several people to him, and I will continue to do so, just because I love that thought process, that pouring positive. Also, like Chad during this time, he's been great. Like my husband is Chad, for those of you who don't know. But he saw a need, and like, obviously during this time, the kids, they're not able to go out and to, go into camps. And so he created virtual camps, and he's partnered with the Messiah Women's basketball coach and just some other organizations. And so they can provide leadership skills and strength training to kids through virtually. And it has been really great. And now he has some guys from, I guess, ESPN and Under Armour who want to do some of these virtual camps with them. It's just been amazing what has come out of it. And I truly believe that through our greatest struggles are going to come our greatest victories. And I know that this has been a really, really challenging time. And I believe that 2020 is the year of the innovator. It's those people who are going to take it to the next level, and who are going to not just settle for, the way that things were, and they don't want to go back to normal. They're going to make a new normal, a better normal. And I think that a lot of great things can come out of this.
Yeah. Awesome. Great examples. And yeah, I would 100% agree. I've said from the beginning about when you come into a crisis that it presents an opportunity for you to become better. It's an opportunity for you to choose, right? We have a choice. Right. You can either dwell in it and kind of succumb to it, or we can look at it as an opportunity to just be better. Doesn't mean we use it as an opportunity to take advantage of anything. We use it as an opportunity to just be better, learn, adapt, be better. And I agree. I agree with everything that you said. And I think 2020 will be a pivotal year, and we'll end up then reshaping 2021, 22, and further out.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Awesome. Well, Corrie, thank you so much for carving out some time in your day to sit here and share some of your experiences. And I want to make sure to allow some shout out time for your business. And so if people are looking for information about either the services, the paint that you offer, or whatnot, what's the best way for them to either find out about you, see what you got, or get in contact with you?
Well, our website is www.inspiredbyu. It's the letter u.biz. B-I-Z. We have a Facebook page, and I'm constantly posting on there, Inspired by You. Our Instagram is #InspiredByYou2015 for when we got started. And I should kind of mainstream them and do them all the same. TikTok, you can find us on TikTok, where we have some fun with some of those videos. And that's Inspired by You Coatings. So yeah, just a couple couple different things. I think you can kind of navigate everything from our website, but yeah, we have a lot of fun, and we primarily use Facebook. I post on there daily.
Okay, awesome. Awesome.
Yep.
Well, again, thank you so much. It was great having you on. Like I said, I look forward to having you back. We can do a longer run and get a lot more into the details of how you grew and lessons you learned and all that. But thanks for sharing your story. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you so much for having me on. It was a great time.
Yeah, awesome. Everybody at home, the one thing I want to make sure we focus on is up here. Corrie hit the nail on the head that entrepreneurship is a mindset. When we get into a time of crisis, your mindset is going to drive how you act and respond in those times. And so if we are fearful and scared and we want to kind of cower in a corner, that's probably what our results are going to be. But if we have a mindset of we got to keep pushing forward, we got to innovate, we got to adapt, good things will happen, not just for yourself, but for those around you. You'll be able to inspire other people, no pun intended, but you'll be able to inspire other people and the people you work with to just be better. And so keep that in mind as we continue to move forward. Again, we're going to continue to bring these episodes to you as often as we can, as relevant as it is. And at this point, that's it from my end in Dillsburg. We'll see you on another episode of In the Crosshairs of Corona with the Central PA Shrimp Tank. See ya.
I've been feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank. But it's